Welcome back to the PSN Commanders Network, known as the Pro Tech Sports Network, and we're back with another video. First preview of the season, first game preview of the season. Football's in the air, even though it's like 100 degrees in DC. But it is football in the air nonetheless. I have my special guest, the Cardinal Rule. I got my guy, Joe. How's it going, my guy? How's everything for you?
Man, it's good, Tony. Football's back. Excited about that, even if my team's not going to be very good this year. But it's always good to hang out with you too, man. I always enjoy chatting with you, and I appreciate you reaching out to me, man.
Yeah, for sure. But we get to, man, AGTG, now we rocking. We're not going to get too far to that. But, hey, oh, God, not to right now. Oh God, we won't be here right now. So I hope he's opening doors and pay way for all you want to in the Almighty Lord name, amen. But yeah, let's get right into today's festivities here. I'm excited to talk Cardinals Commanders with you as well. It's always good talking to you. We did have an NFC West discussion about a month ago, so we were talking about the quarterback situation and all that type of stuff. But you guys are starting one Joshua Dobbs this week.
That's what the reports say. Yeah.
How are you feeling about one Josh Dobbs? And would you want to see Clayton Tune instead?
I think a lot of Cardinals fans want to see Clayton Tune because, he's the exciting rookie, right? And you want to see the young guy. And certainly I think there is the Brock Purdy narrative from, with the 49ers having success with a day 3 quarterback. And I think, teams that are maybe having a difficult quarterback situation, like the Cardinals where their quarterback's injured, maybe they think, hey, maybe we can get lucky like that too. So I think there's a lot of fans who want Clayton Tune. To me, I'm fine either way because I just still see that this year is all about installing the system. I don't see this as a team that's going to even have a chance to sniff the playoffs. I mean, crazier things have happened, but realistically, I don't expect it. And Dobbs, he played in the system. He was with the Cleveland Browns, and our offensive coordinator, Drew Petzing, was the quarterback's coach there. So he knows the system. So, yes, he's kind of a journeyman backup, he's, not a starter in this league, at least certainly hasn't been at this point. But, if you're looking at best chance to win or compete, a quarterback who's a veteran, who's played in the league for a few years, who's played in the system, I think is probably the better choice to be competitive. And I also think, when you look at what the Cardinals are doing, they're trying to, install their system. I think I would rather have the quarterback who knows the system well, even if he doesn't have the same upside as Clayton Tune. You're trying to have everybody learn the system. You want the offensive line, you want the tight ends, the receivers. And if you've got a quarterback who knows the system better and makes the calls that are appropriate for this, for this system, he can operate the system better. Even if he doesn't have the same upside as Tune, that helps everyone who's trying to learn the system and get used to it. So for me, I think, if it is Dobbs, I think that makes sense as the choice for where the Cardinals are at. Get a guy who's played in the system before to help everyone get some opportunities to play within that system.
But I don't disagree with any of that being said there. I completely agree with all of that as well. I think I'm not the biggest Josh Dobbs guy, but he did not play that bad last year. With the Titans, I believe, right? The Titans last year. He wasn't that bad.
Okay.
The Titans last year, I think it was the Titans because I think Tannehill was hurt. They didn't want to play Malik Willis. Yeah, it was Tennessee last year. So he wasn't half bad with Tennessee last year. Wasn't horrible. Wasn't great either, but he wasn't that bad. Joshua Dobbs is a solid backup quarterback in the league. I don't think he's nothing special, but he's not nothing to be like, oh my gosh, he's absolute garbage. Like, why is he on our team? It's not as bad as Commanders fans made it seem to be. They just digging in Josh Dobbs like he's the worst thing since rotten bread or something. It's kind of bad. But nonetheless, I do think that I completely agree with you. I don't think the Cardinals are going to be competing for anything this year. I'm glad that we don't have to argue that.
Yeah, right.
I was scared for a second, but you're a realistic fan, so I didn't think you'll be like, oh my gosh, you're talking crazy. No.
Yeah.
Do I think the number 1 pick in the draft? Don't know. Do I think you guys can win 5 games? Maybe 6? Maybe. I don't think you guys will be 2-15. I don't think you're gonna be 9-8. So.
I mean, it's always hard to predict, right? You can go every year we go into the league year and we have an idea who we think is the worst team, and they're usually gonna be not great. But what often ends up happening is some other team falls off the cliff and has a worse season, right? So, like, yes, I would absolutely concede that going into the season on paper, the Cardinals look like, if not the worst roster, one of the worst, probably the worst, right? It was with Kyler injured yet, right? But like, that doesn't mean they're going to have the worst record. It just doesn't always work out that way. And then, there's the coaching. While I know you're trying to get your dinner in there, it's been a busy day. So, and then the coaching matters. I'll monologue a little bit for you so you can finish sharing. The coaching sometimes just matters. Like you have a team that isn't the greatest roster, and the good coach comes in, coaches them up, and players. Like I'll give an example. LJ Collier, viewed as the first round bust from the Seahawks. We signed him. He hasn't been great. He hasn't been really particularly good at all in the NFL. But he's earned a starting job. He's looked good in camp. And sometimes a player like that gets in a different change, with the right coaching and change of scenery, and ends up being a decent player. And so that happens sometimes. I always give this example. The Miami Dolphins, back when Brian Flores, his first year as coach, right? The roster was a shambles. That was I've often said that was the worst NFL roster I remember ever seeing that first year with him. Right. And Brian Flores comes in and wins 5 games, I think, his first year, which is not a good season, but like that, with the way that roster is, to me, that was an overachieving, really good job of coaching. And so you just never know. Right. So I think the Cardinals aren't going to be good, but the coaching can coach them up to be, instead of the worst team, the third worst team. I mean, that happens all the time.
Yeah, I don't disagree with none of that you stated.
Yeah.
Also, being a Commanders, Washington football team, Redskins, whatever you want to call them these days, fan, that 2019 roster was horrible. That 2019 roster was absolute god trash. It was just garbage. It was horrible. We only won 3 games, and for good reason. We started a rookie quarterback that was not ready to go out there and play. Statistically didn't look bad, but the film wasn't as hot as the stats. 3 rookie wide receivers, 3 rookie corners. It was just no. So we've been there. I've been in where you guys are at right now. We completely understand where you guys are at, and I would say it gets a lot easier. It's just give it a year. I think Gannon is the right coach. I do think that. I think Kyler's the right quarterback. I hope they think Kyler's the right guy. I really do, because that's a hard contract to move.
Yeah.
That's a hard contract. As good as Kyler is, it's a hard contract to move because he's been injury prone a little bit, been out, a little shaky. Yeah. When he's been on the field, most of all, he's played well. Most times he's been on the field. He doesn't finish seasons well though. That's a whole team thing though.
Well, a lot of people wonder if that's more the coach is Kingsbury's system, because Kingsbury had that reputation. Well, I should not. It's more than reputation. His record going back to his Texas Tech days was he always finished poorly, right? So. Yeah. Real quick, there's some comments I think people are saying in the chat, and I think they're hitting some important points. Like, with the Cardinals, they're talking about next year that they've got cap room, they've got draft capital, and they're building for the future, right? And then I know, let's see, one Batis Fatva, I don't know if I'm getting that right, mentioned the Giants last year. Their coach really, they were not on paper a very good team, but like Brian Dable, right, made a competitive team right out of that. So
made a playoff team. They won a playoff game.
Yeah, right.
If Dodge can throw an 8-yard pass down the middle, he can march the field down. That's funny.
Well, let me ask you, I don't follow the Commanders like you do. I mean, what is the kind of the pulse of Commanders fans? How are Commanders fans feeling about this year for your team?
A lot of people, it's kind of hit or miss. Some fans are all in, like us content creators are, like myself, my guy Rio, my guy Jarris in the comment section. But some guys, like my dad, is very trepidant.
Okay.
They don't love Sam Howell. They think, he might be just a little too short for this league and might fall short this year. But I'm all in on this team. I think most
Okay.
fans are all in. We're no more Dan Snyder, no more cancer walking around our daggone organization anymore. The Blackbird is gone. New ownership, new beginnings. I think a lot of people are excited. I'm excited for sure. I like Howe a lot. I like them coming out of school. I love our receiving core with McLaurin, Dotson, Curtis Samuel, and De'Ami Brown. I'm throwing De'Ami Brown in there because he had the chemistry with Howe back in his UNC days. And I just really like this offense with Eric Bieniemy coming. She looked a little shaky last night about EB over there. None of my business. None of my business. But this trolling team. But
I want to just real quick. I want to shout out to a couple of my buddies in the chat. Rashad, what's up, dude? Appreciate you being here. And Ron Boyd Bubble, Rashad's good dude. I met him when I went to the Cardinals Falcons game last year. Rashad's a good guy. And Ron Boyd Bubble, someone who's also active in our Discord.
I keep forgetting you live on the East Coast.
And then Silver Wolf, shout out to Silver Wolf AZ also.
What's going on, my guy? What's going on, man? Subscribe if you ain't done so. I know you guys are Cardinals fans, but I do all NFL stuff. I have another podcast, another hour. You guys can check out. It's all NFL stuff. It's not just Commanders, so you can go subscribe for that stuff if you'd like to as well. But I think I'm just excited, man. I'm excited for the season. I'm excited for this team. I like our defense. I don't love it, but I do like it. I love our offense.
Dude, your receivers are legit, man. McLaurin and Dotson, those guys are really, really good receivers.
A little sprinkle of Curtis Samuel,
right?
A little bit of sprinkle of De'Ami Brown come off the bench. We signed Jamison Crowder again. He was here 15 to 18. Slot machine, so I like to call him. He's a freaking slot machine. He's going to be back into the roster. I like Dax Milne when Dax Milne's healthy. If he's a solid slot receiver.
I got a question for you.
I think we're deep. I think we have one of the deepest receiving cores in the league. But I think
how you gonna use your running back? So that's the question, because I have no because you got two guys that you can see, right? How are they going to split the carries on that or the touches?
I think Antonio Gibson's going more of that J.D. McKissick type of guy. Catching pass on the backfield, more third down role, get a carry every now and then, probably like 7 to 10 carries a game, something like that. I think it's the Brian Robinson show. I really believe that. I think he's going to get the boatload of carries. If it's 35 carries in a week, he's getting 25 of them.
Okay.
I really believe that. Means our bell cow. I like Brian Robinson. He's a little bit more explosive than given credit for. He has good vision. Not great vision, but good vision. I like his receiving skills a lot more than being given credit for. They have him out here running routes like a receiver out there. My business. I think they getting a little spicy with these running backs now. But I do like our running back room a lot, though. And I like Chris Rodriguez, our 6th-round pick out of Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's pretty explosive. Not the same vision as a Brian Robinson, but it's not too far off. He's got a lot better vision than Antonio Gibson does. But
okay.
Nonetheless.
Yeah. Well, Gibson wasn't he a receiver in college and they converted him?
He was a hybrid. So he played receiver and running back in college. But he was never a full-time running back until he got in the league. But I like our running back room, though. I like it. Do I love it? Nah. Not as much our receiving room, but I do like our running back room. I think one room that this team likes, I don't like. I don't like our cornerback room at all.
Cornerbacks, okay.
I don't like our corners.
So
I like St. Juice. I like Fuller, but I'm not a Forbes guy. He got to prove it to me. He got to show me. It's like Chase Young got to show me, and Emmanuel Forbes got to show me. You got to show me this all these ball skills and all that. I didn't see it. I didn't see it in preseason. I saw a little bit of a camp. I got a pick 6 in camp. That's cool, but I want to see it. I want to see it because I saw him getting torched on tape too.
So everyone's. I mean, the Commanders are favored as they should be, right? I mean, I know Cardinals obviously are just really in a rebuild. If the Cardinals were to come out and beat the Commanders, in your opinion, what would have to happen for that? How do the Cardinals beat them? Where do they attack? What are the things that happen if for the Cardinals to win?
Well, first off, shout out to Louis T, our biggest Commanders creator. Shout out to Louis T, that's my guy. But he had a stream last night. He brought this up, and I completely agree with him. Shorten the game. Run the ball. Run the ball. Run the ball. Keep the ball at the quarterback's hands. Keep that offense off the field that you don't want them to have the ball. And when you do get in the red zone, don't kick field goals, score touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I think 8-9 minute sustained drives, taking your time, having the play clock all the way run down all the way to 0, just shorten the ball game. That's the number one thing I think that the Cardinals will have to do to win this game. Keeps it low scoring, keeps the Commanders offense off the field, and it frustrates your defense. Because now it's like, dang, bro, like we're on the field for 8-9 minutes. We're getting exhausted. We're getting tired. We're on this field for like 40 minutes. Like, take a page out of the Commanders book when we played the Eagles last year. We literally ran the ball down there, bro. We ran the ball 50 daggone times. Yeah, we were getting 3 yards a pop. But guess what? We run the ball 50 times. You're going to sustain these 9.5 minute drives. And when we got in the red zone, they scored touchdowns.
Yeah.
That made the Eagles have pressure to score and start turning the ball over because now they're pressure to score because they don't have the ball for that long. When Jalen Hurts started to start throwing interceptions and Quez Watkins out here fumbling the ball, just coughing it up,
right.
Ball come out of his hands because now there are pressure to score quickly. They don't have the ball. So they can't get an offensive rhythm going. So keeping the Commanders offense off the field, number one. Number two, I believe just shorten the ball game. If you do that Washington might have a long day.
I could see that because think of it this way. Like, okay, so the Cardinals, they're running like that wide zone Shanahan style offense. So like you could then with the zone, that outside wide zone, like so like as much, and people think the Cardinals offensive line isn't going to be good, but actually I think it's going to be better than people think. It's not like there's no real stars, but like they've got some solid and starting player or caliber players across the board. And that's what you need. Offensive line is just, you don't want to have anyone who sucks. And I think they're better than they were in that regard. And that wide zone system is one that can really be effective in like, even when you're mismatched. Like I've seen games where like Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers just where they were supposed to lose to the Cardinals because their quarterback was injured or whatever. Then they just ran that ball and beat us. Right. And so like, I think if the Cardinals run the ball and that wide zone is, a system that's set up to do that effectively, right? If they run that ball, like you say, shorten the game, right? Milk that clock. And then, our defense, right, is a big question mark, no doubt. But you have, a quarterback in Sam Howell who, is a little bit of a question mark, right? He's, a young quarterback. So I could see that. Like what happens if we run the ball, slow down that, milk the clock, shorten the game, put up some points. And when the Commanders are kind of trying to answer, Howell throws an interception to Budda Baker, like just makes a mistake, right? And if that happens a couple times, that's the formula for the Cardinals to win, right?
Completely agree. It's key to victory. Yeah. It's simple but complicated because what if the Commanders go up 14? The run game out the window now. And then you have to throw your way back in the game. It's something you don't want. Or if the Commanders literally go up 10, but it's all on the defense. The defense force a turnover early, force a fumble or something. Commanders get a field goal, go up 3-0. They get the ball back over 3 and out. They score a touchdown right there. Now you're down 2 possessions. Now you're down 10-0. You can still run the ball, but you're down 14-0. It's like, and I'm pressed to score points a little bit now, which makes it now Josh Dobbs has to drop back and bro. And the last thing Cardinals fans want is for Josh Dobbs to drop back 40 times. Right. I wouldn't want that. I know I wouldn't. You don't want that. I know AZ the sports fan don't want that. I don't want to see it. I don't. Because I know Josh Dobbs is going to make mistakes eventually. I'm the opposing fan. I don't want to see that. So I don't want to see Josh Dobbs dropping back 40, 45 times. This is going to be a recipe for disaster. It's going to be a blowout, and I don't want to watch a blowout. I'm going to the game, so I don't go in to watch a blowout in person. Sorry. I just want the game be competitive for a half, at least, please. I don't want to see Josh Dobbs throw the ball. See Josh Dobbs throw the balls, this is going to be bad. So you definitely want to go ahead and run the ball. I think the ZBS is a great scheme for y'all backs, too. I like y'all backs. You get sent a bunch of one-cut-and-go guys, kind of like Alpha Morris when he was here with the ZBS. We had Chris Thompson when he was here, one cut and go. Smaller, frail guy, but one cut and go. Yeah, gotta go, gotta get out of it. I think a lot of your backs are one cut and go guys. James Conner, a one cut and go guy. He's not trying to dance and all that. He's just trying to where to go. All right, let me get out of here. and runs powerful too. Oh my gosh, James Carter might be a problem Sunday,
dude.
That's one person I'm a little afraid of is James Carter.
I love James Carter. If his only issue is health, to me is only like he's not like a speed back, but he's powerful. He's decisive. He's good in short yardage, and he can catch the ball. People think of him as this big bruising back. He's a good pass catcher. Like he's made some nice one-handed catches, so and I think people just assume if you're a big back like that you're not a pass catcher, but he can. So his only issue has been health. And if he can stay healthy, they could have a really good running game. And then Keontae Ingram, guy, second year player behind him, looked good in preseason, is a good fit
I like him too.
For this kind of offense. So, if the Cardinals, I think if the Cardinals surprise people overall across the entire season, I think what it looks like is the first half of the season, they run the ball really well and eke out some games. And the second half of the season, they've got that established and Kyler comes back and people remember, oh yeah, Kyler Murray's pretty good, right? Yep. I do think with all the narratives and as much as, the stuff off the field and all the contract nonsense and everything, the narrative around Kyler has just gotten really problematic and toxic. Like people forget that he was like a legitimate MVP candidate, like at least through the first half of the season, right? So like I feel like the hate has gotten so kind of out of hand on Kyler that people have forgotten that when he's on the field he actually slings it pretty well and runs it crazy well, so
yeah. I think with Kyler, and my dad brought this up too, so I want to shout my pops. Shout out to Papa Pro. Shout out to Pops. We had a conversation specifically about Kyler.
Mm-hmm.
He said the only thing I don't like about Kyler is his size, because he's going to get hurt. And that's the only concern with Kyler Murray. Not the skills. I think Dad don't like Kyler because he's small. Dad don't like small quarterbacks. Don't pay my dad no mind. If my dad's watching this, Dad, you don't like short quarterbacks, so don't come in the comment section like, Dad, you don't like small quarterbacks. Let's call it what it is. But I was telling him he has a rocket, he has a cannon, he's mobile as heck. The kid has talent. This young man has talent. I really think he has top 10 quarterback talent. The only thing that you question about Kyler Murray is his health and durability. That's the only reason why I think at the end of the season, if the Cardinals do have the number 1 pick, I think they are going to take Caleb Williams because of the durability issues of Kyler. It's not a lack of skill, Kyler. I think they like Kyler too. I mean, even the new front office likes Kyler Murray. But if you keep playing 8-9 games a season, what am I paying $45 million for?
Yeah.
That's when things get spicy. It's like, okay, we like you, but you don't stay healthy.
Yeah. And no, 100%, that's an important thing. And I think one thing to remember with Kyler is in that Cliff offense, he had to play hero ball a little too much.
Yeah.
And gets hurt a little bit from that. I think this offense is going to lean on the running game more with this new coach and hopefully take some of that off of him. I will say a couple things about Kyler though. As much as he runs, he knows when and how to slide, right? From his baseball stuff. And, he's small, but he's thick. Like, so, I mean, I know he's had the injuries and that, and certainly this last year was really, obviously that the ACL is really concerning. But if the new coaching staff puts in an offense more like Cleveland, right? Because that's where the offensive coordinator came from, an offense that makes the running backs, do more of the running, sets up some bootlegs to get the quarterback kind of out in space, but out of danger, and sets Kyler up to be in an offense where he's not going to have to, improvise as much and try to extend out plays as much. My hope is that the injuries will kind of subside. Right. So we'll have to see, right? Yeah.
I completely agree with that. I think with a better offense that fits his skill set and that keeps him kind of upright, then I think the injuries will definitely decrease.
Yeah.
Now the question is, when things get tough and the offense isn't rolling as much as you want, does he play hero ball? It's another question.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he typically
It's
does.
a lot of questions underneath the big questions, like smaller questions that are kind of. But I've been able to hold on to Kyler. Honestly speaking, I'm leaning more toward that because Kyler's already here. He already has a contract. This makes more sense that way. And you get out one and get a freaking king's ransom. I don't know what the hell you want.
I think I want them to keep Kyler, and I think they will. I mean, it's possible they don't. Obviously, I'm not. You know,
I will say this:
Hmm.
if a team does what they did for Matthew Stafford or Kyler Murray, he's out of there quick, fast, and hurt. You give me 2 ones, a 3, a starting quarterback that can sit in front of this young guy that they have to play right away. I can't beat that.
Okay, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know that anyone's going to offer quite that much.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to do that because the Rams are thirsty for Stafford. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, I think
they was thirsty.
Yeah. Like I think I think what they're more likely to do is they've got Kyler. He's been in the room, in the building. They like what they've seen from him in terms of his work ethic, and committing to this. I mean, everything we're hearing from the front office and the coaching staff is glowing. I think they're going to stick with him. They're going to see what he does this year. And as long as he even looks decent and shows signs of getting the offense, I think they're going to trade that pick for a haul and build. Like how everyone's talking about the Jets, right? What they've done building their roster with all those picks, and they built a really good roster right now. And then they brought in the quarterback, and everyone's expecting them to be really good. The Cardinals have the opportunity to build a roster like that or even better with the kinds of haul, because remember they've got the Texans first round pick too. So like they've got these 2 early picks next year that they can trade both of them if they want to, or trade one of them and get a haul and use the second one for someone like Marvin Harrison Jr. and have right?
I love to see that with Kyle.
Right? Imagine the Cardinals getting Marvin Harrison Jr. this year, plus they get another. Let's say they're the first overall pick, whether it's ours, the Texans, and let's say then they have like the 3rd pick, right? They trade that first one for a haul, right? And part of that haul is maybe the 7th or 8th pick overall, right? And that's part of the trade plus future picks, right? So then they got that 3rd pick and they go Marvin Harrison Jr., right? And then that pick 7, 8, 9, wherever that other pick they get in the trade, right? When they trade back, then they get like one of the top defensive players, right? Plus, right, they already have 6 picks in the top 100. They got 2nd round pick, multiple 3rds, and in a trade for that first overall pick, they add to that, and they just get a haul of talent, right? I mean, I'm excited. Listen, this year it's about watching young players and seeing who emerges. But I am excited about what the draft's going to look like in the next year and beyond.
Facts. I really think, as I said in the last talk we had about the Cardinals, I think the Cardinals are 2 years away. I think they're 1 year away to keep Kyler. So this is going to be a struggle. Next year, you bring all these young players in, Gannon establish the culture. Kind of how Ron Rivera did here, establish a culture. And then I think in 2025, NFC West champions, anyone? NFC contenders, anyone? Because I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be an absolute dog. If you acquire him, that's a huge start. And I still like Marquise Brown and some of the other receivers. You got Rondale Moore, if he could kind of fit into the scheme, things of that nature. I think you guys need a tight end 1-2. I think that would be a good look. Zach Ertz is getting up there in age. I think it's time to go ahead and move on from him, get a younger that kid from Georgia. You can get him and Marvin Harrison Jr. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. You guys drafted Paris Johnson this year for left tackle. I like what is going on here. If you guys can get that tight end out of Georgia with Marvin Harrison Jr., that's a huge start for Kyler, man. You still keep Buda Baker. I think I don't want y'all to move Buda, but I think if you get a 1 for him, I think I would.
I think, they gave him kind of a little bit of a pay raise. They didn't give him the extension, but they gave him some bonus stuff, I guess, that kind of upped his pay. I mean, I think they're going to keep him through his contract. I don't think they're going to trade him. I think I'm going to keep him through his contract. I don't know that he'll get an extension as much as we love him. Maybe he will, but maybe they will. I mean, I don't know. I just know paying safeties late is kind of not something that they really want to do.
Yeah, actually, they Garner Johnson. He didn't get paid. He got 7 picks last year. So it's tough as safeties out there. Ask Cameron Curl. He hasn't got his extension yet with the Commanders. So it's tough for safeties out there. I think Buddha. All right, it's tough. I think you should keep him. I think you should extend him. But if the offer is too good to refuse, then you're going young anyway. So might as well continue to go young, right? Like just go ahead and go young, go fully young on everything. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get a young safety. Screw it. See, Gardner Johnson is a free agent next year, so you guys have cap room, and he's not old. So CJ Gardner, he's been in the system with Gannon before in Philadelphia, so it is kind of makes sense if you can get a CJ Gardner Johnson probably cheaper than a Buda Baker, and then you get draft capital for Buda Baker.
Well, if we're going to pay a safety, I want it to be Buda. So if Buda's not sick, if they don't keep Buda when his contract's up, I want it to be because they drafted someone and they're doing that rookie contract thing. I don't want them to go sign another free agent, even if it's a little cheaper. If we're paying someone, I want it to be Buda we're paying. That's me. Maybe I know that's fan speak.
I respect that. I don't. Now, if CJ's getting that $7 to $8 million range per year, I mean, it's kind of cheap for a really good safety. So. JC basically like 16. So I mean, you can get Gardner Johnson for 6 or 7. I will subscribe to that as a Commanders fan. I like our safety duo, but I will subscribe to that if I was a Commanders fan. I think Cardinals fans would probably subscribe to that too. But I do understand why you want to pay Buda. Buda's your guy.
Yeah.
He's homegrown. He's been there his whole career. I understand.
Well, what he brings in the locker room.
That's with Cameron Curl. I don't want to pay the other safety. It's not Cameron Curl. I will feel some type of way. So I get it. I wholeheartedly get it.
Well, with Buda, it's also like the leadership. Like he's the heart of this. Like the way he plays. It's not just how good he is, but like the kind of person and competitor and leader he is. That is the guy you want in your organization as an example for everyone else.
I agree with that. Same with Cam.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think is going to happen this game? We talked about how what would have to happen for the Cardinals to win. We talked about some of the different things. Looking at the way these teams match up and line up, what do you think is going to be the outcome of this game? What do you think it's going to look like?
Okay, so it's like you Commanders keys to victory. Like I said, first of all, I got to shut up that run game. I don't got time for James Conner getting fired out the pop. All right, don't have time for that. I think it's going to be a tough first half. I really think Commander fans going to be shocked. Maybe probably like a 7-point game at half, something like that. I think the Commanders kind of pull away in the second half. And the Cardinals are going to get kind of tired of running around against Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson all day. And I think eventually they're going to get caught slipping a couple times, get caught napping, and a couple big plays happen. And turns maybe 17-14 game to more like a 31-17 type of ball game, something like that. I got 31-17 for a final. I think the game's a little bit more closer than people give credit for. I was talking trash, like we gotta blow these boys out. But at the end of the day, you got our NFL team. Shout out to Louis T. I humble myself a little bit. So hold on. This is an NFL team.
Yeah.
They still have NFL caliber players. They still have one Buda Baker out there catching picks. So I need to chill.
Yeah.
I do think the Commanders kind of win this one convincingly, but it's not as convincing as people believe it. I do think the Cardinals will compete well, fight hard, fight all the way to the last whistle. Everything's going to be – we're going to earn this one. I really think we're going to earn it. You're not going to just come up here, come up to FedEx Field and lay down. I don't see that happening. You guys get paid too. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a tough one. I really think we definitely be tough the first half. I mean, you guys are going to run the heck out the ball, take the air out of it, and exhaust this defensive line to utter end. And then you might sprinkle in a couple of passes with Joshua Dobbs. To is Hollywood playing? Marquise Brown playing?
He should be. That's
Okay, so Hollywood and Zach Ertz. I know Zach Ertz is playing. So, and we do struggle with tight ends. So that could be a problem too. So any X factors for your team going to the game? Offense, one on defense.
So on offense, I think the X factor is the offensive line. If that offensive line, like we talked about earlier, shows up like I think they can, all of a sudden this team is running an efficient offense and getting, going down the field and showing up and potentially putting some points. They get some good runs. They make, Josh Jobs does enough to convert a few third downs. The running game's working. The offensive line is working. And if that happens, they might get a few shots in the red zone and put up a few points, right? That's the X factor in the offense to me is the offensive line. I think that if this offense without Kyler is going to be effective, I think it's the offensive line playing well and allowing everything else to be efficient and work. On defense, I think, there's just so many question marks. I think our pass rushers are an unknown. We got Zayvon Collins there and, switching over to edge, and then the inside linebackers, the defensive line, just so many question marks there. But I'm going to say the X factor is the safeties, because that is the strongest point of our team, probably Buddha and Jalen. We talked about Buddha, but we didn't talk about Jalen Thompson, who's a solid player as well. So I think those are those guys can cover up for a lot of other things, a lot of kind of flaws in the rest of the defense. So that could, they could have a couple big plays. So yeah, I could see that, them being kind of the X factor there. And yeah.
I completely agree with that. I forgot all about Jalen Thompson. I should have talked about him. My apologies. But nonetheless, with me, I think our X factors, we talk about the receiving core, we talk about the running back room, our offensive line, it's a question mark. I don't like Charles Leno. I think he sucks. Left guard's a little shaky with Sadiq Charles or Chris Paul. They're starting with Sadiq Charles. The center position solid with Nick Gates. It's okay, but Nick Gates can get hurt anytime, even that's our rookie. As for the right guard, I love Sam Conley. I think the best offensive line on this team. It's not even close. Now, Andrew Wiley has been bad in preseason, but he was good in Kansas City, so we'll see. We're playing wait to see with Andrew Wiley. I don't know how he's going to look in the Commanders uniform when the game really count. We will find out very, very soon. I think our defensive X factor is Montez Sweat. I really believe if he can be disruptive and be the player that we've been wanting him to be since he got drafted in 2019, I think it's going to be a long day for James Conner in the run game and Joshua Dobbs in the passing game. Because Sweat is great in the run game. I say that right now. He sets the edge well. He's great at tackling the running back into the ball carrier. In the pass game, he lacks pass rushing moves, a repertoire. But if he can actually get his hands and engage, he'll throw the offensive lineman away like this. Just get out of my way. I'm just quarterback. So I think he's going to be a problem for you guys defensively. And I think offensively, it's our offensive line. Can we hold up? Can we keep Xavier Collins and those guys off our quarterback? When you guys do blitz, is our blitz pickup good? You know what I mean? Right. So our offensive line is a huge question mark. Mm-hmm. We don't know what these dudes are. They look okay in preseason, but preseason. So I think both our offensive lines are huge X factors in this game. How do you think the game will go?
So I think everyone expects the Cardinals to just get blown out every week because, on both sides of the ball. I mean, they do, right?
The lack of talent.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, in the preseason, when the first string off or defense was on the field, they looked disciplined and they were shutting some. I mean, I know it's preseason, but they were kind of slowing down teams, shutting them down when it was the first stringers, right? Defense. And I'm not saying they're going to be a good defense, but I don't think they're going to be as bad as people think they're going to be. People think they're going to be a historically bad defense. And I don't think that's going to happen because, if nothing else, the coaching. We brought a defensive coaching staff. I get that on paper, the defensive line looks horrible and the linebacker core is questionable and the cornerbacks are inexperienced, right? But they looked solid in the preseason. And I think what's going to happen is I do think they're going to slow down the game. They're going to run it a bit. I think the Cardinals are going to put up 13 points. I think they're going to find a way to get a touchdown. They're going to get a couple other drives that go but stall out. They'll get a couple field goals. And I think the Commanders, they're going to, I think our defense and the fact that there's some question marks with what, how is your quarterback ready to be a starter? I think, we're going to, at least in the first half, keep it close, but I think y'all pull away, put up a couple points, get a few on us. And I think it's going to be something like 24-13, something like that.
I won't be surprised the game was that close. I won't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked at all. I only have us put up 30 is because I think we scored 13 and a half. And I think the third quarter would just explode. I can see the enemy kind of making adjustments to what you guys are doing. And then so just points at a bunch of Terry out there just catching passes and Han out there doing his thing, and then it's 30 points on the board.
Yeah.
My thing, we're going to work for every single point we get on Sunday. I don't think your defense is going to lay down and just let us just do what they want to do.
Yeah.
I think even you get a turnover or two.
Could be.
So,
I mean, we get a turnover, all of a sudden I think our offense can find a way to get 7 and a couple field goals. You turnover and you get a couple extra points. Next thing you know, you're putting up 20 as a team that, isn't a great team. So
isn't a great offense. So
yeah.
It's an interesting game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely looking forward to see how Xavier Collins looks at edge rusher. I didn't know he moved the edge. I think that's interesting. How does the secondary look without Isaiah Simmons? You guys traded him away.
Yeah,
I'm just really intrigued to see how your team looks, honestly speaking.
Yeah, and the secondary people, obviously we know the safeties are good, but the cornerbacks, is a question. And I've seen people on Twitter talking about what a horrible cornerback room the Cardinals have, and it's a cornerback room without like a proven star or anything like that. But like, I think people are kind of sleeping on it a little bit. I'm not saying it's gonna be great, but like Marco Wilson, in his third year, he's made strides and he kept looking better. And the second half of the year last year in particular, he looked really good. His PFF grades were solid. I did a video on it, and like second half, the grades looked really good. So like he's turning into a guy who seems like a good cornerback. Rookie Keitrell Clark earned the other starting. He's a 6th round pick. I thought he should have gone earlier than that, but he is going to be a starting cornerback for them. Now, some people say, well, that's a sign of how bad the cornerback room is, but they still have Antonio Hamilton, who started for them some last year and was solid. Antonio Hamilton's PFF grades were like in the upper 60s, which is decent, right? It's like they've got Hamilton, who's like the third, probably be the nickel, and Keitrell Clark has a rookie, has earned the starting job. So he looked good in the preseason. Yeah. And then, so you've got those 3 guys, and then you've got, a journeyman. Who is it? I know you've got Christian Matthew, the guy they drafted last year, who's struggled, but he's, as a young player. Then you've got Chris Boyd. It's like, I
think your cornerback room is just young and
Right.
I think that's the word to look for. They're just wet behind the ears, breast like Similac. They don't know what the heck is going on for real.
Well, you know how it is, like, because sometimes people assume
because it doesn't lack talent, it's just young.
Right. Sometimes because if it's young, people just don't know who they are yet, right? But they still might be good.
Yeah, exactly. I just think you guys are just young and inexperienced in the secondary. Yeah. That's why people will score 30 points this week, because you get you learn the hard way in the National Football League.
Yeah,
as a lot of young corners, as Benjamin St. Juice, our third year corner, his first year was a struggle for him a little bit. A lot of corners struggled their first season. I like the fact that Keitrell Clark it is a starter week 1. That's a great thing, but don't be surprised he struggles a little bit, because it's his first start. This is his first NFL game, and Jahan Dotson is nothing to play with, so. It could get a little frisky for him sometimes, but I think he'll hold his own at times. I think he'll make a play or 2. I think he'll be fine, but I do think he'll probably allow 70, 80 yards this week versus Jahan Dotson, to be fair.
Dotson's a good player, man.
Jahan's going to go for 10-foot, $150, 2 tubs. All y'all cornerback rooms trash. No, you're not just trip over here. But I do think he will have his share of plays on the rookie Keitrell Clark. But nonetheless, I really think this team in Arizona will be really good in a year or so. Just need to find out, really, really solidify if Kyler's your guy or not. Figure out what you want to do in the draft. have a good draft war room next year. And I really think you're going to get Marvin Harrison Jr. and this kid out of Georgia. And oh my gosh, the offense is lit again. Like the offense is score points. And you have a tight end one, you have a wide receiver one, everyone gets slide into their correct slots. Then Kyler's out there being Kyler Murray, and you're good again. So all it takes is one good draft. Find out who needs to be, who doesn't need to be here. Make sure the staff is solidified, the culture is solidified. And I think you guys will be just fine before you know it. I really think with the Rams going to kind of disappear a little bit, I think the Niners will take a slight step back. And then with the Seahawks with Geno, oh no! Like I know he had a good year last year, but is that really Geno Smith? Can real Geno Smith please stand up?
Right.
I think things get really, really interesting in the NFC West in a year. I really think next year is like, oh crap, can the Cardinals go from worst to first?
Yeah.
So I know we struggle for y'all this year. I wish y'all the best of luck. I know it's tough. I've been there in 2019. We were 3-13, 3-14 team, or 5-11, whatever. I've been there. I've done that. I've seen it. It's a struggle. It's nasty. It's irritating. It's infuriating at times. It's like, I try to curse my videos, but it's like, damn, man. Why we suck? Why are we this bad? Like 2019 for me, it was like, why are we so bad, bro? My gosh, why are we so bad? This is bad. This is bad to watch. It's not good quality football. Like I'm watching this as a fan, but it's not good quality football. But as the season did get along, I started seeing these young players kind of emerge. Terry McLaurin now, and that Terry McLaurin is solidified now. But back then, 20, he was a rookie. We know who that Terry McLaurin was. And guys like Dwayne, when God rest his soul, Dwayne Haskins was starting to show some things. Now I was like, okay, now it's starting to get fun to watch because these young guys are starting to make plays. It's starting to get fun. Early in the season, it was miserable.
Yeah.
They suck.
My guy Rashad says we was there in 2018 because that was our Josh Rosen year. So 2018 for us was the worst year I've remember as a Cardinals fan since Max.
Oh my gosh, Steve Wilkes. Oh, I forgot about that. That was bad.
So we were there too. No, but like Cardinals fans, at least the ones I interact with regularly, we get this is going to be a rough year, but we're excited about the future, like the future that you're talking about. And the biggest source of excitement for the Cardinals fans, at least I think, is the new leadership in the front office in terms of the general manager, Monty Ossenfort, what he did in the draft, what he's going to do in the draft, what we've seen so far, and that it's not Steve Keim, right? Because Steve Keim is public enemy number one for Cardinals fans. He is the guy that Cardinals fans just hate the most because of what he did.
When I watch y'all, the first thing y'all say is, I can't stand Steve Keim. I'm like, I'm looking at his track record too. Like, I can't stand this. Steve, and I'm not even a fan. I can't stand it. He sucks. Like, what the is he still doing? It was like Jerry Reese with the Giants. Like, they won a Super Bowl in 2011, but they couldn't make the playoffs. So they daggone live. They couldn't win more than 6 games. Why is he still here? Like, you can't get him on a Super Bowl forever. Get him out of here. He sucks. So I'm glad Steve Keim is gone for y'all. If I got like your own mini Snyder in there with him in there, like he's out of here. I'm excited for you guys' future, man. I really am.
Thanks, man.
I really think you guys will be good really, really soon. I really believe that wholeheartedly. If it's Kyle or Caleb Williams, I don't care who it is. I think you guys will be good very, very soon. I'm not gonna lie, I would like to see Caleb Williams in the Cardinals uniform. I think that would be fun. But I understand why people still love Kyler.
Listen, if it happens, I'm gonna cheer for him, man. I'm a Cardinals fan, right? I love Kyler, and that's who I'm riding or dying with. But if they make the decision, move on, then they do, and I'm not gonna like resent it, right? I'm good, but I'll wish Kyler well wherever he's at if that happens, and I'll cheer for our new quarterback. But I think it's gonna be Kyler, and I do hope it is. I want to be able to root for Kyler.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I like Kyler a lot, actually. I think he has top 10 quarterback talent. I think he needs to stay healthy and have an offense around him that can stay balanced. I think that's the one thing I'm looking for from your offensive coordinator this year. How balanced of a play caller is he? Yeah. Is he 50-50? Is he 70-30 pass? Is he 70-30 run? That never happened. Yeah. But, is he more 50-50 or 60-40 pass? Is he Does he run RPO? Does he run his zone read? How is he calling plays? And I think that will show me how Kyler fits in this offense before he even comes back with his skill set. Even when Kyler does come back, which I don't think will probably take December, I think we'll just give him a couple games to kind of get his team ready for next year. But nonetheless, you see how he looks in that offense, and then you can try to make your final synopsis of where he is, health-wise, skill set-wise, things of that nature. And then you start building around him. So I think they're going to build around Kyler too. I really believe that too. I completely agree with you on that one. But hey, Joe, best of luck Sunday.
Yes, my friend.
I hope this game does not get ugly quickly. Hope it doesn't.
Me too.
I'm going to facts. I want to see a decent game. All right. That's all. I don't want to stop. I don't want to see just a fraction. By halftime, we'll go home. I pay money for these daggone tickets. I don't want to see them.
Right.
I don't want to sweat the fourth quarter either. So, but nonetheless, I'm excited for you guys Sunday. I want to see how you guys look. I'm excited for my team. Obviously, it's week 1. Just football's back. I'm excited. Get some more football Sunday as well after this game. A full slate of games. I'm just full slate of 15 games on Sunday. It just sounds so beautiful. I'm just happy football's back, man. I'm just glad. I know it's been a struggle for you guys, but keep your head up, man. Keep your head up. 2024 is gonna be a great year for y'all and beyond. And we'll continue to talk as the season gets along. I'll hit you up on X, whatever the FUCK you want to call it these freaking days. And you be easy, bro. Have a good one. It's always good talking to you. I wish you prosperous on your channel. Hope the channel continues to grow. I'm loving the content. Been watching. I've been lurking. I've been lurking. I've not been commenting. My apologies.
You're good.
I am a lurker. I'm a lurker. I'm just a lurker. I'm a lurker. I don't comment. I don't even know why. I'll tell you if I'm watching on the stream. But I'm not going to comment. I'm just not.
Yeah. I'm kind of like that too.
I will work. I don't know if you're watching my stuff or not, but I would definitely go ahead and comment every time I start watching it to make sure you know I'm there. I'm supporting. I'm rocking with you, man.
Appreciate you.
Continue to grow, man. I'm liking the channel. You're very, very in depth with the analysis, and I very appreciate that. You're definitely the analytics guy when it comes to the Cardinals YouTube community. I love AZ the sports fan. I love other content creators as well from the community. But
Mike's a good dude.
You are my go-to.
Thank you.
Sorry, hey guys, don't get mad at me, okay? I'm a content creator. Not get angry. This is my go-to, okay? This is my go-to, okay? He's super analytical. I like the analytics stuff. I like the numbers. I'm a numbers guy. I love that crap. So don't pay me no. Everyone stay safe too.
Right. Dude, that's the Cardinals fans are feeling, man. Wake me up when the draft's here, man. You know, let's just get through the season.
Oh shit. Excuse my French. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can't stop laughing. He said 230 days.
Right.
I'm pinning this comment. I am pinning this comment, Silver Wolf. Stop it. That was funny. I needed that laugh. It's been a long day at work. I need that laugh. That was hilarious. Oh my gosh, that was funny. But nonetheless, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate you guys. I will be right back live in like 5 minutes, so I'm not gonna be gone long.
Okay.
I don't know if Joe gonna catch this one, but like, comment, subscribe to the PSN Commands Network. If you haven't done so, also subscribe to the Cardinals Rule. I will go ahead and put his channel in the pinned comment. Once this video gets published, I'll go ahead and do that. I'm gonna just go put his channel link right there in the pinned comment for you. Also, I will start putting Joe's link in my description as well. You know, he is a family member over here. He is family, so I welcome him to the ProTech family with open arms. So go ahead, and I'll put in the description too once I'm done this as well. So subscribe, please subscribe, darn it, subscribe. This is great content over there. Even if you're not a Cardinals fan, if you're a subscriber of mine, just subscribe. It's good stuff. It's really good stuff. And if you are a Cardinals fan, subscribe to me too.
Check out ProTech.
You get NFL stuff too. I'm not just all Washington all the time. Actually, we'll have a week 1 prediction stream right after this, so you want to come check that out. That's gonna be fun. I have a podcast with my college friends, Dave and Dio, called DT Football Podcast. Also subscribe to that channel too, by the way, down there. I'm trying to grow that channel. We're like 9 subscribers, so subscribe if you could. And yeah, we're gonna go live right now in a little bit, and it should be fun. So you guys be easy, be safe, stay healthy, have a wonderful weekend. If you're outside, stay safe out here. People are crazy. And if you're inside, watch some Netflix or something. Watch some football. Watch some football. It's football, man. Watch some college football. Watch some NFL. Enjoy your weekend, either inside, outside, in between. I don't know what you're doing. But have a great weekend. Have a blessed weekend. And Joe, thank you again, bro. I appreciate you.
Tony, I appreciate you, man. You're a good dude, and I always love hanging out with you, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate hanging out with you too. I need you on your channel. You always come on here. Okay. I need to come on your channel.
Yeah.
Are you doing a post-game stream or anything Sunday or anything like that?
I don't think I'm gonna be able to because I got something going on. But let me see if I can get you. Maybe I do a Tuesday. I do a Tuesday night thing. Maybe I can get you to pop on there for a bit with me.
Yeah, I'm down. Let me know.
All right. I'll reach out to you.
Just give me the time because I do have a stream at 8. But before 8,
it'll be 9, probably 9 Eastern.
Perfect. Send me the link. I'm down.
All right,
I'm down.
cool.
I'm down. But yeah, so I will be on the Cardinals channel Tuesday, 9 p.m. Go check us out, okay? That guys be easy. Have a great weekend. Until next time. Peace, love, and blessings all y'all.